day, denizens of the Western Front. I'm Unsilent, and we're back with more of Battlefield 1942. We bring you Operation Market Garden. Let's start with the briefing. With the liberation of Belgium, the Allies seek to push further toward Germany. First, though, they must secure bridges at several key points on the Rhine River. To achieve this objective, Allied commanders have devised the largest airborne assault ever attempted. If successful, Operation Market Garden could truly mean that the end of the war is within sight. The bridge at Arnhem is one of the critical points on the Rhine. An Allied unit has been dropped behind enemy lines to capture the city and secure the bridge. Their mission is to hold off German troops and hold on to the bridge until the arrival of reinforcements. It is critical that these soldiers must hold the bridge at any cost. Objectives. Arnhem is our objective. Capture the city and we will defeat the Germans. Well, Operation Market Garden is kind of comprises two parts. Now, dropping troops behind enemy lines, that's part of Operation or Sub-Operation Market. The reinforcements, the armored groups pushing up through from... Okay, this is an Allied airfield. There was no Allied airfield here, but let's just humor the game for a moment. Let's call it this Allied staging ground that my mouse is circling over here. That's where the armored division is coming up from, and they are pushing forward to try and capture this bridge at the Rhine River. Now, when they're talking about the largest airborne assault ever attempted, the Allies parachuted in 30,000 airborne troops behind enemy lines. Their goal was to capture bridges that spanned waterways in the Netherlands. Ooh, we are actually coming in as a paratrooper. I can't like move forward or anything like that. All right, we're just kind of slowly dropping in. Okay. Admittedly, that's kind of cool. And we've captured the first control point. We're going to try and take one of these. We'll gun down Wilhelm Ulmen. We're going to try and capture this point. It's going to be one of the more interesting missions in that Operation Market Garden was actually one of the bigger failures in the Allies' World War II effort. And we've captured the Arnhem Bridge. Oh, if only Market Garden was that simple. Now I'm trying to figure out where to go from here. Let's pull up the map. All the capture points are on... That was close. All the capture points are on this side of the bridge, so I think we are going to endeavor to back up. There we go. Have you ever seen a tank do a 3-point turn? Well, you just have. Operation Market Garden was a plan to try and expedite the end of the war. Once the Allies had gone and captured the Normandy beaches and started their push eastward from France, and then we've captured the control point and now are dwindling the tickets of the Axis forces, the idea was to capture these bridges because, as we had alluded to in the last episode, the Allies were sort of struggling to make any roads inwards after capturing Normandy. So what they did was they had devised Operation Market Garden in order to expedite the war effort pushing eastward towards Berlin. So what they did was this two-pronged attack, and we've captured Stonebridge and slightly beached our tank. No, there we go. So they devised this two-pronged attack. They would... Ooh, there goes that Jeep. The Allies had formulated this two-pronged attack. They would have their infantry push in from behind enemy lines towards these bridges, and then have the armored divisions come up from the west. And so by doing that, they were hoping to expedite the war. Estimates from the Allies said that they would be able to... I'm just running into everything. I swear I'm not that drunk right now. Kids don't drink and drive tanks. So the Allies figured that if they were successful with Operation Market Garden, they would be able to capture Berlin by Christmas 1944. Now, if you're aware of any sort of World War II history, it's not really a spoiler now, is it? You already know what happened. Oh, I think I ran over... I ran over Wilhelm again. Oh, poor Wilhelm. We ran him over. So as I was saying, if you're any student of World War II history, you're already aware of what actually happened and how it went for the Allies in Operation Market Garden, because you know when Victory in Europe Day is. That is one of the topics I wanted to... I hit someone, because... I think I hit somebody's supply pack, because that went flying as soon as I lobbed a shell down the bridge. Ooh, that sent him flying. But yes, the Victory in Europe Day wasn't until May 1945, if memory serves. I have it in my notes for the Battle of Berlin mission in Battlefield 1942. I think I'm going to retreat. And we're just going to get out. We're just going to bail out. So right now we're in the Dutch city of Arnhem. And as you can tell by the lovely windmill out in the distance. Now that's relevant because this is where the decisive battle of Operation Market Garden was. The Germans had backed up to Arnhem, having been pushed back a little bit by the Allies' initial assaults on some of the more western bridges in this operation. So what they ended up doing was they ended up reinforcing Arnhem. It may not seem that way from how this mission has gone so far, but this is where the Germans had made their stand. Oh my, he got, if you look at the ticker up at the top left, Michael Delecchio, maybe it's a V, it's Del Vecchio, that would make more sense. Oh, we got him with the bazooka, we got him. It might not seem that way from this mission and how quickly it's going, but the Axis had backed up and they had reinforced at Arnhem. And had really done a number on the Allies. They had set up with anti-tank weaponry, with artillery in order to stop the Allied advance. The Allied paratroopers, now we might have a bazooka to deal with tanks. The Allied paratroopers really didn't have sufficient anti-tank and anti-armor weaponry to deal with the German tanks that were reinforcing at Arnhem. So if we were to run across this bridge, we should... Yeah, see, there's a tank right down there. In reality, the Allies didn't have... The Allied paratroopers, that is, didn't have the weaponry and the capability to deal with all this armor in front of him. Now, you know, this is a video game, so of course we're going to have sufficient weaponry to take out a Jeep like that. Oh, we missed him. What the hell? That was just a car crash. The Allied paratroopers did not have sufficient weaponry in order to take out the tanks and the armor that the Germans had to reinforce the bridges at Arnhem. And we win with a total victory. The actual Operation Market Garden stopped here in Arnhem. The Allies did not get past Arnhem. Let's get that straight. It's an... It's a video game, so I don't expect it to be completely historically accurate. The operation, this is a total victory. Okay, let's read what it says, and then I'll fill you in on the actual history. The victory at Arnhem came at a heavy price. Allied command knew that Operation Market Garden would be one of the most daring missions of the war. It also turned into one of the bloodiest. Fact. The Germans fought with complete determination to keep the bridge. However, by the end of the battle, the Allied troops were able to secure the bridge. That's a fact, though not in this mission. Operation Market Garden started badly for the Allies. British paratroopers had problems with their radios, so they couldn't communicate behind enemy lines. The Germans had their own anti-tank weaponry, which stopped the Allied armored advance and gave them time to reinforce. It started well for the Allies, but it pretty well unraveled after the second day of the operation starting. It was about a week-long operation before they threw in they waved the white flag. Metaphorically speaking, they just backed up. They didn't actually surrender. They just backed up. So with Arnhem, it is true the Allies controlled the route to Arnhem, but the Germans controlled the town and therefore the bridges, and the Allies didn't have sufficient weaponry in order to break the German armored line at the bridge. So all those paratroopers were in, I don't want to say deep shit, but they were basically in deep shit because they had to make their way to the village of Oosterbeek, which was down the way from Arnhem, and they had to board boats in order to cross the Rhine back to the Allied forces on the other side of the Rhine River. 2,500 men made the crossing. 1,500 died, either fighting the Germans on the far side of the Rhine River or trying to make that crossing, and another 6,500 were captured as prisoners because they were left behind. From this operation, about 15 to 17,000 casualties were reported. The Germans had between 3 and 13,000, but the end result was that this was a failure for the Allies, let's face it. It says total victory on the screen right now, but that just isn't what actually happened historically. But let's move on to another battle that did go well for the Allies. It's the Battle of the Bulge. Now, you've probably heard the Battle of the Bulge term, but you're also probably thinking of the Biggest Loser. If you're not from America, I don't know if you've ever heard of a TV show called, or I guess we have it in Canada too because we get NBC up here. If you've ever heard of the show called The Biggest Loser, and it's a weight loss competition where I don't want to say people are basically fat-shamed on national television, taped and live on national television, but that's basically what The Biggest Loser is. Personal opinions aside, the Battle of the Bulge was actually a very important battle in World War II. Let's take a look at the briefing first. In the Ardennes, which is a region in Belgium. In the Ardennes, the German army has commenced a massive counterattack against a thin spot in the Allied front. Just when Allied leaders envisioned an end to Germany's ability to conduct such an operation, German forces unleashed a sudden all-out attack with everything they had. Surprising everyone, the attack has already resulted in heavy damages. Not only were the Allies surprised by the number of men unleashed in this attack, but they were also caught off guard by the number of armored units. With war-weary veterans and an ever-increasing amount of teenage soldiers, German forces have been fighting desperately to stop the Allied advance across the Siegfried Line and into Germany. Objectives: the Germans have asked us to surrender, and to that we say, nuts! Have you ever watched Jericho? Great show. It's on Netflix, at least it is in Canada. This is the line from... I don't know where they got this, if this was actually where they got the line from the Battle of the Bulge in Season 1's finale of Jericho, but we'll talk about that in the mission. A staunch defense with the goal of controlling all Allied outposts will ensure our victory. Alright, so the Battle of the Bulge is about a battle formation, or not an intentional battle formation at any rate. What had happened was that the Axis decided, under Hitler's direction, to blitzkrieg the Allied front. And as a result, they had pushed a part of the Allied advance back. So what happened, just imagine sort of a straight line. And what the Axis did was they pushed the middle of that line back. Oh, okay, we've just got sniped by a Panzer. Brilliant! So imagine the middle of that line is pushed back, and it's pushed back. The Battle of the Bulge is because the Allies' line had bulged. The old cliche, we will bend but not break, and that is what the Allies did in the Battle of the Bulge. The bulge isn't a place. The bulge refers to what the line did. It bent, it bulged, but the line did not break. And that is our goal here. The line will bend, but the line will not break. So we picked an anti-tank soldier class because historically the Battle of the Bulge was an armored battle. German tanks pushing forward in a blitzkrieg at Hitler's direction against the Allies' armor division. It was a surprise attack that the Axis had launched against a rather worn and inexperienced, like it was mentioned in the preview text or the briefing text for this mission. It was a young and inexperienced group of Allied soldiers that Hitler sought to exploit by pushing in against them. Oh, for fuck's sake. We're getting massacred. So not only was the goal to exploit a tired and inexperienced American formation with this blitzkrieg, the idea was that the Allies north to south movement along their line, as there was one big long line pushing east towards Berlin. But the idea was to cut them off so they could mitigate or limit north to south supply along the Allied front. And if they can break them, they can encircle them, push in from behind, and try to take them out on two fronts. Similar to Operation Market Garden, except instead of using paratroopers, the Axis was going to use... Oh, we're going to they've captured the windmill. We might be able to capture this one as well, hopefully. Oh, we got sniped. Of course we did, because... From the other side of the damn map! Come on, man. Alright, there we got two. Now, in the Battle of the Bulge, you're looking at the weather here. Oh, we got that tank. I'm gonna try and sneak up. Take out... Let's just pretend we got that tank as well. Crap, I've got a bullet left and... Well, we're just going to steal his. Screw it. We captured the windmill. Does this mean I have to start swinging my fists wildly in order to combat the German troops? Now, it is a little foggy, and it's been... For you, it's been a couple days since I've played Battlefield 1942. For me, it's been a couple of weeks in reality. So I don't quite remember how much fog there was off in the distance to, hide the draw distance of the game. But if this is simulating weather as opposed to just a technical limitation of Battlefield 1942, it would be accurate. So let's give the game a little bit of credit where it may or may not be due. Because at the start of the Battle of the Bulge, the Germans had the advantage of inclement weather. Blizzards and winds that were preventing the Allies from getting their air support to help out the U.S. 1st Division. I believe it was the 1st Division, or U.S. 1st Army, I'm sorry. I just took a quick peek at my notes. And as such, while I was shooting him, he got a shot off at me. Kiss my ass, game. Where'd I get shot from? Where did I get shot from? A place where I didn't even have a fucking window. Again, kiss my ass, game. Oh my god, I killed it with a grenade. What the hell? So the American First Army was pushed back by... Woo, that was close. Really? 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 You know what? Screw it. We're just going to take a tank, and we're going to do it all ourselves. Mercure, fuck yeah. Come again, say the motherfucking day, yeah. Mercure, fuck yeah. Freedom is the only way, yeah. I'm old. Deal with it. What the hell is shooting? Where the hell is there a tank? Kiss my ass, game. So let's assume that the game isn't doing fog because of draw distance, but it's doing the fog because of bad weather. The bad weather kept the Allied air forces on the ground. They could not support the U.S. First Army as they were being attacked by the German armored group because they couldn't get in the air. They couldn't see what was happening. Oh, really, I'm not happy right now. Some Axis dickhead is not going to break us. We will not be broken on this day. Axis flag. No, that isn't happening. We are going to push forward. We are going to take back our outposts. They didn't even give this control point a name. They didn't think that it would actually happen this way. Alright, we've captured this point. This is not the end. This is not the beginning. This is not the beginning of the end. Nor is it the end of the beginning. We'll just throw him up into the air because... we will not go quietly into this good night. We will push on that. Oh, we got two there for the price of one. We are just picking off the Axis from range. Oh no, we missed them that time. Oh, I'm sorry, I ran them over slightly. I shouldn't apologize. Apologize for nothing. We are going to take back this last outpost. Alright. I don't know if we got anyone. He's run up on the hood of the car. It was not looking good there for a little bit, that's for sure. Oh, somebody hit us. Somebody hit us. Wait, I see a name through there. Well, fine. We're just going to do it that way. We could use some, we could use a med pack, though. We've captured the control... Oh. I was going to say we captured the last control point. No, we haven't. Now we got to back up because somebody's trying to capture it from out from under us. Yeah, we picked him off right in the face. We can't get out of the tank because we'll die. Oh, we got 2 for the price of the 1 there. And all I wanted to do with this mission was talk about how American grit had fought so hard in order to keep the Allied line from breaking. How through determination the U.S. First Army... Oh, well, there we go. We'd taken out like 3 tanks in a row on no health. And finally they took us out. Oh, we got him. Oh, there's 2. Well, we'll just overkill him. I was going to mention that while we were driving back, I was going to mention the fun fact that originally, did you know that Battlefield 1942 was originally supposed to be a GameCube game? Now, can you imagine an M-rated, I think Battlefield 1942 is an M-rated game. All the rest of the Battlefield games are M-rated, so why wouldn't this one be? Now imagine how things would have been different if the original Battlefield game had been on the GameCube instead of a PC exclusive. As strange as that sounds, it is actually true. It was originally pitched by DICE to Nintendo as a GameCube exclusive. The problem is that DICE had their hearts set on there being a significant multiplayer component, a significant online multiplayer component to Battlefield 1942. And, you know, well, obviously, 14 years removed from the game's launch, obviously, I don't think we're going to be able to do much in terms of online for this game. But originally, that was the plan. This was going to be a big multiplayer game, but... Oh, come on. Yeah, I know we have a 20-ticket lead, but it's still mildly annoying. It's one of those things where you kind of wonder, how would the course of gaming be different just for one decision? And if Nintendo had an online strategy, how would the console wars have been different? When you think of online gaming now, you're thinking PC or Xbox, let's be honest. If Nintendo had an online strategy for... Yeah, I ain't dealing with that. Oh, we aren't doing so well. I just realized. Oh, we're about to lose. Shoot. We lost. Alright, well, we can just push that button and start over again. So I guess I was trying to say, how would things have been different if Nintendo had an online strategy, got Battlefield 1942, had been the place for shooters, had been the place for online gaming, as opposed to the Xbox One? Or I guess Xbox One. That's right. That's a correct statement. Damn you, Microsoft, confusing everyone by calling the third Xbox, the Xbox One. Oh, there we go. We are making progress. My trademark line, I think. Ooh boy. Between me and this tank, we're having fun trying to figure out... Oh! Just killed. Just nothing in particular, just killed. Oh. One to go. Yay, we won. Well, that took forever, but we finally won one. So, that's the Battle of the Bulge. Berlin's arrogance nearly paid off in this last-ditch effort to halt the Allies at the German front. With Allied command caught completely off guard, German forces waged a brutal assault in the Ardennes. Fortunately, the Allies were able to regroup and hold on just long enough to control the line and stall the German assault. That was the key, the stalling of the German assault, because as I mentioned, it was to get the Allied air forces into the air so that they could take out the German armored advance. It was a short battle, but was devastating because the Allies suffered about 90,000 casualties, most of which were in the first week of this Battle of the Bulge. But the Germans lost about 100,000 men in this battle. After the war, German General von Mellenthin said that there were two factors that prevented Hitler's offensive, his Blitzkrieg, that became the Battle of the Bulge, from being successful. The first being the lack of supplies, and we've talked about that time and time again, and the Allies' air superiority, which is why I came back to the Allies' air offensive being so critical in winning the Battle of the Bulge. But that is all the time we have for this episode of Battlefield 1942. Next time out, it's the finale. It's victory in Europe and victory in Japan. But you have to wait a few more days for that. So until then, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you're new or if you want more Battlefield, share it on social media, follow on social media. The links are in the description below along with the playlist. And until the next time, I'm Unsilent. Thank you very much for joining me. If you would be so kind as to do that YouTubing jazz, and we will see you next time.